Hi everyone, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I know you all are busy, and the fact that you give me your time is quite an honor for me. This introduction lesson will take about 20 minutes, so make yourself comfortable and I promise it will be interesting and helpful. First of all, let me introduce myself. Some of you already know me through YouTube or through my students, but others came for the first time, and I'm happy to meet you and hope to know you better. My name is Sergey Kromchenko. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I moved to US in 2009. First, when I came to US, I worked as the farm boy, and that was quite a journey for 4 years. By then I realized I want to change my life. I want to change everything within my life. So I decided to move from North Dakota to California. And of course, I needed some money. I faced all of the problems that immigrants face, like my English was quite weak. My salary wasn't enough to cover all expenses. I didn't do what I actually wanted to do for my entire life. I didn't have a special degree, and most importantly, I did not have a time for college for another 45 years of study. I always feel sorry for families with kids who face all the problems because I know how tough it could be. Right at the moment, I took an advantage of my friend's recommendation and started learning QA. As most of students, I had my own fears if I'll be the weakest in the group. I just came from the farm and all I knew was about tractors and how to drive them. Of course I knew how to use computers, but it was just the user level. So I decided to prepare for the course. I learned a lot before the course started, and until now I never stopped educating myself in IT. Anyway, I finished 3 months of the course and that's it. I'll be honest with you, I felt overwhelmed with all the information in my head, but still wasn't sure if I had enough knowledge to go for an interview. It took me a few months to get a job. During that time, I learned as much as I could on my own. It was the key moment when I realized I could do better if I would be a teacher. I wish I had enough knowledge that time so I could mentor all of those students who just disappeared after the course to nowhere. All this time until now, I kept it in my mind, all those problems I faced after the course. I collected all the information bit by bit, selected best techniques and strategies, and tested them throughout my 7 years of experience. Our course was created for everyone with no prior experience. Our mentors will guide you through every step and will make sure you really understand what you're doing. You will not only learn how to test software, write test cases, find bugs, and report them. Most importantly, you will learn how to work in a team. As the QA, you always be in touch with your leads, managers, developers, and sometimes even in CEOs. It's important to be an easygoing to react fast on different changes. You will use your logic all the time. Let me tell you a little bit more about myself. During this 7-year journey, I've realized I do like coding, but most of all, I do like to help people. Guide them through all steps, teach them how to be very productive and grow as the great professional in any company. It's all my passion. Nothing makes me happier than watching people succeed. I rose in a company to the position of engineering manager of SDAT, and I'm not going to stop. I have my big goals, but also I do like what I've started making over the years. I'll show you real salaries for all QA paths in a minute. As your teacher, I'll share all of the tricks how to get more from the company that they even offer you. I'm not saying you will get a highly paid job right away and you don't need to work hard, because you have to. If you have these ambitions which turns you on, I'll teach you all tricks and tips which helped me to become a manager who has no education except high school diploma. Also, in a bit, I will tell you why I don't like to work in big companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, Tesla, and so on. But now, let me explain for you guys what QA actually is and what do testers do. Let's keep it simple. In everyday life, we use phones, smartwatches, other gadgets. Every day we send messages to our friends in a social network, share pictures, videos, make videos calls, study online, and do all kind of stuff. We come home from work and order pizza, sushi online, book tickets to Hawaii. Now imagine you want to buy a ticket for a concert you've been waiting for 2 years. And there are only 2 tickets left. You are worried, you're excited at the same time. So you finally press the buy button, but then you see error 500. Oh no, that feeling, right? You feel angry, upset, and probably you want to smash your phone against the wall. So who comes to rescue? That's right, QA engineer. Bugs can cause huge losses because even airplanes can crash, medical devices can turn off, even the stock market can freeze. Bugs can cause disasters. In a tech era, everything is related to computers and artificial intelligence, so proper work of every device is highly important. If you are new to this, you probably wonder what bug is. Many years ago, one guy was doing his work on a computer, and at that moment, a bug flew into the computer and broke it. From the moment, all errors in a programming are called bugs. And in our high-tech world and in a business, finding bugs is very important. Imagine the business model like Walmart. If testers don't find bugs, customers will. We do a number of tests before buying something like a TV, shoes, or any similar products, small or large, cheaper or more expensive. We tend to buy branded products because they have a higher quality. This is because good brand manufacturing companies do their thorough testing of the product they manufacture before they actually put it on the market. Buggy software hurts operation sales and reputations. If there are plenty of errors on a website, customers will simply choose competitor. Who wants that for their business? So that's exactly what QA engineers do. They test applications and make sure that applications are up to requirements, which means app works in a way we expect it to work. So who should do testing? Naturally, it is a team effort. Even the developers are responsible for some testing. Their code is like their kid from the first sight. So that's exactly why companies do need QA engineers who could do an objective testing and find all of the mistakes and file them so developers could fix their code. Let's take a look at several types of testing. Manual testing. This is when you manually enter the site as the user and check whether you can register, log in, send a message, and after you try, break the whole thing by doing crazy things the customers wouldn't do, like using Greek characters in your username, for example. It's fun, right? And this is the part of the manual QA job. Automation. This is my favorite, and that's where money comes in. Imagine that a programmer updates website, and this happens really often. And every time it happens, you need to do the same kinds of testing. You need to check same login and all of the other features over and over again. How awesome would it be if all of those buttons, links, and pages would be tested automatically while you grab a coffee and just chill? A few clicks and voila, then program does everything for you. Whoa, that's amazing, right? You will never forget this feeling, trust me. When you first write a code and see the pictures start flashing on a screen, it really works. You killed it. You're drinking tequila and watching how the program itself clicks, checks what you did before manually. Cool, but a couple of months ago, all you could do was to turn on your laptop and send a mail to your friend. So that's how you can make automation and computer work for you. Also, this speeds up all the processes and saves tons of money for the company. The work of testers is multi-phased and very interesting. You find yourself in a world that before was something alien and completely unknown. Where can you grow from the QA engineer position? Your skills as a QA engineer can prepare you for a transition into related roles, such as developer, QA manager, product manager, designer, and business analyst, and many others. The most important thing is that as long as you do a great job in a company, they will give you a higher salary, they will give you different titles, and everything you can ask them for. Our students often ask question, are there enough jobs for all QA engineers on the market? This is actually a brilliant question. There are a lot of people who are looking for a job, but I can tell you as a manager who is actually interviewing tons of people for a QA position, markets are overwhelmed, and that's true. But still, it's really hard to find a right person. It's still hard to find a person who's qualified. You might ask why, but the answer is simple. There are a lot of people from those boot camps who had never had a real experience. I was there myself, and of course, I can see that easily during an interview. In a company where I work, we get about 100 resumes per day, every day, but just 1 or 2 will actually make it to the technical round of interviews. You won't get a real experience if you work for a fake project. That's true. That's the main purpose why I got a partners to educate our students in a real US startups. It's a unique experience from the course from the day one that you will actually do some work in an American company. Isn't that cool? Let me explain what you're actually going to do there. You will learn how to communicate with the team, how to find and file bug reports, how to write and execute test cases, how to communicate with the developers, leads, managers. You'll ask them all questions you want to be answered. You'll see the whole process in a company. When I say it, I actually mean it. When you'll get used to writing test cases, build environment around you, and work in a team, then we're gonna start automating those test cases. I'll show you how to do coding. I'll show you the way how you can just love it, even if you think you're not technical at all. You will learn how to use special software to work and learn programming languages. So you will write code and find the best way to make it work better and faster. You'll become a professional after our course. My goal is to create a highly qualified professional who will kill all the interviews on the market and get a highly paid job after the course. It's possible. Some of our students get the job before they even finish the course, but not everyone for sure. 2 of them in my previous group were so excited to start a new career that both of them got 2 job offers almost simultaneously. Nika got a job offer in 2 weeks after finishing the course, and 2 weeks later she got an extra offer for $100,000+ and decided to stick with that company. And this is not the end. In a month and a half later, she got a raise at the same job. Do you think this is luck? If you think so, you're wrong. She put all her energy into one basket. She followed all recommendations we gave her, plus her great personality. All of it made it work so well. Even though I remember her in the middle of the course when she wanted to quit because she didn't have enough time and she missed a couple of lessons. I'm really happy she got together, and in one day she sorted out all the material she has missed before. So now she will help me with the next course. You will meet her on a manual part. She will share her experience with you and share all of her tips. It's great that you can learn from successful people. I'm personally a bit jealous. I wish I could have this kind of education when I just started my QA career. But I'm here for you, and I'm so excited to see you in a class. That's going to be great. And of course, we have a 1-month money-back guarantee. If you don't like the course for any reason, you will get your money back. Alright, I did promise to tell you why I don't like to work for big companies. Here we go. A few really helpful tips. Number 1 is bureaucracy. In order to make a step aside, you have to go through so much paperwork and questions. Number 2, no freedom of action. In any big company, you will do the job you've been assigned to. You will not be able to wear different hats, meaning you will have to stick to the same job. And number 3, no professional growth. By working as a developer in a corporation like Google or any others, you will never become a manager because you are an engineer, and those are different things for the big companies. Do you want to grow fast in a company and earn more money? Then just don't choose the big names. I've been there and I personally don't really like it. Well, let's look more closer here. Actually, it might work for some of you if you like to come to work and do the same job day to day. But if you know you're gonna be super bored of this, if you like to jump from project to project and learn new things and grow professionally, then you might be better off working for a startup. First, they have money and they could give you more than the big companies. You can be the first QA in a company, which means you can grow into a management position from there. And that might be very quick depending on how fast your company is growing. But if you compare it to a big company where you will work for 5 to 10 years and you will still be the same QA engineer, that sucks, right? Here's what startup life looks like. You'll have a freedom in action. You can create and suggest your own ideas. Isn't it nice, right? Also, you have a chance to switch to development or product management if you feel like it better. I bet right now it's clear that you prefer startups. I worked for Verizon and I didn't really enjoy the job. I didn't feel like I belonged there and they really need me as a professional. Yes, it sounds really cool. I work for Google, I work for Tesla, I work for Apple, but that's pretty much it. So I hope you're not tired or sleepy yet. If you are, make some moves around, jump around, take a moment to get a tea, and let's jump onto the main question. How much money can QA earn? Alright, now let's talk about salaries. So manual QA tester salary in the United States, the average is about 60,000. I kind of do agree that's about an average, but you can really grow to about $100,000+. And whenever you become a even a senior manual tester, you can make up to 130,000. That's the best of what I know, because one of my friends did get that much money as the QA engineer. Okay, next one is the QA automation engineer. Looks like the average is about 88, 90,000, and I kind of do agree. Most of our students get about $80,000 as their first job, but some of them get 60, some get them 100 plus. It all depends on your skill level and your personality and just the luck. Okay, senior QA automation engineer. As you can see, average is $112,000. But to be honest, that's not necessarily California average, that's the US average. In California, the average would be about $120,000, $125,000 for a senior QA automation engineer. QA manager salary. So by looking at this table, you can see that average is 107,000. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the average of the QA manager salary should be approximately $115,000, $120,000, and it can grow up to 180, even 200 in some cases. QA director salaries. Whenever you become a QA director, you can earn much more. So QA director is pretty much a top of the QA path, and then you have to switch somewhere else. So the QA director makes an average $148,000, which is quite awesome. And I do know in fact that other people can make more than $215,000 as the QA director. All right, let's take a look at the numbers of years on a job for the QA engineers. As you can see, most of people on a market are new. They either have less than a year of experience or from 1 to 2 years experience. And that comes from the booming industry because we have so many companies that are looking for QA engineers, the demand is high, and that's why there are so many schools that can prepare you or not for the job. Where do software QA engineers earn the most? As you can see on this map, it's pretty much the same as in other spheres. Most of the money can be made either in California or in New York and states relative to them. Also, few states on the Midwest are kind of highly paid as well, but mostly it's about California and New York. Where are the software quality assurance people located? Well, it's kind of throughout the United States, but same thing as with the highest paying salaries. It's mostly relatively close to California and in New York as well. But it looks like Miami is another good hub for the QA engineers. Where the software quality assurance is in high demand. Nothing is new here, it's all about the big cities. The biggest ones are New York, Los Angeles, Washington, etc. You can see all the other ones like San Francisco, Phoenix, Arizona, Chicago, Miami, and others. Talking about salaries, you guys can actually influence the main digit on an offer letter in many ways. You can show your skills, you can show your desire to work and learn. You can get an extra offer from a different company and negotiate both. My first salary 7 years ago was $70,000, but then I got a counter offer from a different company for $80,000, and my company didn't want to let me go, so they raised my salary and made it work. That's how it works. If you're a great specialist with a kind of easygoing personality, I'm sure you will kill it. Plus, Let me warm you up with some extras that you pretty much always get from any company. Number one is the health insurance. Can you buy good health insurance now yourself? Most likely not, the way I couldn't 7 years ago. But working for an IT company gives you some juicy privileges, which is so important. Just count how much money you can save on not paying for health insurance. Vision. How about dental? That's quite a bit of money, right? I will tell you that usually companies cover most of your insurance, even my wife's insurance, and in some cases, even a dog's insurance. There is a huge saving for your family. Okay, next. 10 to 15% annual bonus. How about that? You can count it as, for example, if you make $80,000 per year and you have a 10% bonus at the end of the year, you get $8,000 as a New Year celebration present. How about that? Free food. I worked in an office and I remember we had a buffet, which was my favorite. Free breakfast, lunch, snacks throughout the day, no issues at all. I remember these days and my favorite ice cream. God. Gym membership. Of course, after homemade ice cream, you gotta go to gym. Some companies will pay your full membership. Some companies will only cover the part of it. In any case, it's quite awesome. Aside of that, if you work for a company and you don't have a green card, and if you're a qualified specialist, a lot of them might cover it for you and apply for your citizenship. That's another extra point. And one of the biggest ones is the salary raises every year. You know, in different companies it can be from 3 to 6%, in some companies even more. It's all dependent on a company. And also, every startup or big company will have their own cool things. For example, Apple gives you 25% off of all of their products, which is quite awesome. I'm pretty happy with all of that, but as everyone, I do love when the salary gets raised. Okay, we've done this. In this video, we've covered all the questions about a QA, like what it is, what do they do in everyday work. We spoke about bugs, salaries, and bonuses, which is very important. Now I want to thank you all for your time. I really appreciate, and I want to give you guys an extra gift, which is a 5% off for the entire course. The discount is valid for 24 hours. And as one successful guy said, act today even if you're not ready or not prepared, because you won't be ready in a few months or in a year as well. So you don't waste your time. Start acting right now, and I really hope to see you guys on a different side of the screen, to know you better, to make new friends out there. I can promise you, you won't regret. But if you feel like it doesn't fit your needs, no worries. We've got 30 days money back guarantee. But I know that I can accompany you on this journey to your new interesting tech career. I'll see you soon.